Um, First of all, thanks to our hosts. This is really fantastic. Um, uh, and yeah, it's just a really lovely community. I'm going to be talking briefly, again, ask professor to be brief, and this is what you get, about some of the themes I've seen at this conference so far, and kind of tried to stir up a little controversy for our panel discussion later. But the TLDR, that is, if you need to get up and get coffee during my talk, I'm going to be pushing for the idea that we need more evolution on physical systems to really explore notions of embodiment. Brief explainer of who and where I am. I come to conferences like this and I always feel like I'm standing among giants. Union College is a small liberal arts college in upstate New York, just outside of the capital of Albany. We're 3 hours from everywhere else. Boston, Josh up in Vermont, and New York City. I do all of my work with undergraduates. I have no PhDs or master's students or postdocs, and I teach 6 courses a year with no TAs or graders or anything, just to contextualize everything. Also, my students are always looking for PhDs, so if you're hiring, let me know. Okay, speaking of which, all of this work, again, is done by undergraduates of mine. So, brief observation about what I've seen at this conference is it's not an elephant in the room, it's the octopus in the room. With the possible exception of Dr. Niski's excellent talk prior to this, almost everything I've seen is soft robotics. And so it seems like the Embodied Intelligence Conference has become a soft robotics conference. And I remarked upon this yesterday during one of the panel discussions, like, what is it about embodiment that attracts soft robots, or vice versa? Feels like soft robotics is almost the perfect application of these ideas we've all been kicking around for years. So it's no surprise to see luminaries in the field like Fumia and Josh and so many others moving from embodiment to soft robotics. It's all a lot of the same stuff. Okay, the typical so when we talk about soft robots, the typical design loop, if you will, still relies heavily upon empirical trial and error, usually done by postdocs or grad students, right? We conceive of designs, we test the designs, we evaluate how good they are, and we test them again. And this design process takes a huge amount of time, and sort of we're constrained by human biases and preconceptions about what our soft robot should look like, or our soft material. So, evolutionary algorithms to the rescue, right? Why do it yourself when we can have an algorithm do it for us? So mostly what I'm talking about is being able to use evolutionary algorithms to automate this soft robot design process. I'll skip the explainer about what evolutionary algorithms are, because I'm preaching to the choir here. But ever since the early days of evolutionary robotics with Carl Sims, we've been doing evolution in simulation, right? State-of-the-art physics simulator. Simulators include, I mean, this slide is old, so probably there are newer ones by now, but PhysX, ODE, Bullet, you name it. I've recently been doing work on 2 great, so going back, these simulators are generally rigid body simulators. There aren't many good soft material simulators out there. We've got Eric Medved's fantastic 2D voxel-based simulator. And my students and I have been able to evolve locomotion on these cute little 2D voxel robots. A fun, neat result is we've actually been able to for these simple shapes, discover a whole diversity of gates using some very clever quality diversity algorithms. And it's been a lot of fun. Notice, however, this is, simulated. Then there's Josh's excellent Voxcraft sim, which dates all the way back to when we both shared a lab at Cornell with John Hiller, who wrote the original Voxcraft sim. We can run evolution in Voxcraft sim and also get fun results out, cute, squishy robots in simulation. The problem is, so here's my brief rant about soft robotic simulators. This comes from a paper I just discovered yesterday because Drew Sebelhaus at BU has been using this new soft material simulator that looks absolutely fantastic. It looks like it might be the new big thing. But let's take a look at this figure here, right? Here, this is the wall clock time, the time it takes to actually do a simulation. And this is the time step, the idea being the smaller the time step, the more the higher fidelity your simulation is. And what we're seeing here is this dashed line showing the point at which simulation is faster than real time, which means most of these high fidelity simulations run slower than testing the material physically in the real world. And that's the major insight I want to lend to this whole conversation is high fidelity soft material simulators are slower than testing the physical object in the real world. That's what I'll stipulate. So the better way harkens back to Floriano and Mondada's evolved Kepra robot, where you run simulation, or you run evolution on a physical substrate. Watson and Fikichi called this embodied evolution. Adrian Thompson's amazing work on at Sussex back in the day on running genetic algorithms and hardware showed how you can find really surprising and amazing results that cannot be simulated when you run evolution on physical systems. And here's a shout out to Josh's work with Victor Zykov back at when he was at Cornell. Really a really fun paper. So I've been doing evolution, physical evolution on soft robots for a while, so we can use things like quality diversity algorithms to evolve the locomotion of these soft tensegrity robots, and we can get them to do some really amazing things that really leverage the dynamical complexity of soft materials. So these things move by vibrating, and you can get them to change their behavior just by changing the frequency of these vibrations. So this is embodiment. This is the literal embodiment of embodiment, right? It's the mechanics, the dynamics of the system changing as a result of something like vibration. Okay, so we're moving on now to silicon soft robots. Again, thanks, Josh, for this fantastic toolkit. My students are now able to build and move these silicon soft robots. And so what we're trying to do, again, is do embodied evolution on the silicon robots. But the sort of the big idea I want to get at is, can we use this for material design and for designing robots in the first place, not just optimizing their behavior? This harkens back to my 2000 and mumble thesis on evolutionary fabrication. Can we attach genetic algorithms to an actual physical 3D printer and discover entirely new soft materials and soft robot shapes? I actually had a student working on this 10 years ago, where if you can run evolution on physical systems themselves, in this case, a 3D printer extruding Play-Doh, you can get some really surprising and interesting results. And in the years since, 3D printer technology has evolved to the point where I think we can really start thinking about embedding evolution on physical substrates like actual real 3D printers. And that's where I'm going to wind up. So again, if we really want to explore issues of embodiment, we really need to actually do embodiment on physical systems, enough with these simulators. And we've got to unshackle evolution, to borrow a term, to design robots, not just optimize them in physical substrates. So thanks again.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Lots of provocative food for thought. I'm sure that will light the fire for the discussion after Giacomo's talk. Giacomo, floor is all yours.